Anthropic shipped a new version of Claude Code last night at 10:56 p.m, version 2.1.227, and it is the 10th point release on that page, all shipped in a compressed ban, all landing while your dev agency was drafting one status update. Your monthly retainer is being outrun by a nightly changelog. Most business owners will not hear about it for 6 weeks. Here is what actually shipped in v2. 1.227, why it matters if you have never opened a terminal, and the exact question you can ask your developer on Monday that tells you whether they still deserve the retainer. Open github.com/anthropic/claude-code/releases right now on your phone. Top of the page, v2, 1.227, tagged by Ashwin-Ant, August 10th, 2256. That is the proof, not me telling you. Let me translate the 5 bullet points on that page into English. Fix 1. Anthropic caught itself overcharging its own top-tier customers. Max plan users, meaning Anthropic's top-tier subscribers, the ones who thought they were already paid up, were being asked to enable extra paid credits for the Fable model their subscription already covered. Anthropic shipped the patch that killed that prompt. Anthropic protecting the customer from Anthropic, a small refund of the trust the industry usually burns. Fix 2 matters if your team runs anything on GitHub Actions. If you have never heard of that, your agency has. It is the automation layer that runs your deploys, your tests, your database migrations at 3 in the morning. Every automated bash command in that layer was failing under a specific permission setup that security-minded teams use by default. Broken for a week, fixed in a patch you did not read. If your build has been mysteriously read since last Wednesday, that was it. Fix 3 restores conversation rewind. Fixes 4 and 5 a polish, a menu that no longer eats emoji, a quieter event loop. Polish sounds like nothing until you spend 8 hours a day inside it. Small stuff. On its own, v2, 1.227 does not kill an agency invoice. But that is not the story. The story is the cadence. 10 releases, Anthropic is shipping fixes on a near daily train. Every release moved something in the toolchain your agency charges you for. The tools are compounding faster than your invoice cycle can price them. If you find that as sharp as I do, subscribe, and if you want the running list of which weekly releases actually move the invoice and which ones are noise, come to the Church of SEO Jesus. It is my free school community. Every Claude Code, ChatGPT, and Gemini release that changes what you pay a developer for gets translated inside it the day it drops. Free. Link in the description and pinned comment. Right, back to it. Let me actually prove the cadence, so you do not have to take my word for it. 10. If Anthropic dropped one meaningful feature every 7 of those, that is more product change in a month than most agencies ship in a quarter, and you are paying for the quarter. 1 AP I call to the GitHub releases endpoint. Latest tag comes back v2 1.227. Published August 10th, 2256 UTC. Commit target main, 3 fields, no login, no agency, no meeting. Anthropic to you direct. Same call, different endpoint. I asked for the release notes body. 5 bullet points verbatim, the ones I just translated, free. And here is the release list. 15 most recent versions. Look at the gaps between timestamps. Not a monthly release train, not a weekly one, nightly. Now watch this. I fed Claude the Max Plan billing fix release note and asked for a founder-friendly translation. 2 sentences come out, 86 output tokens. The translation your dev team is quoted an hour for, delivered by the same tool the fix is in the time it took me to hit enter. The compounding I keep talking about in one demo. The line that matters in that response is the last one. Nothing on your side to action, but it is worth confirming nobody on your team was charged for credits they did not need. The whole game in one sentence. The tool tells you what to check. You check it, or your developer checks it. The month you save by knowing this on Wednesday instead of at the next quarterly review is real money. Here is what to do on Monday. 1. Update Claude Code. If your team uses it, this is a 2-minute install. If they do not, ask why not. If they say it is not production ready, ask them to point at the exact release note that says so. There is not one. 2. Ask your agency what version of Claude Code they were on last week. If they cannot answer, they are not tracking the tools they charge you to know about. Not fine. 3. Check if anyone on your Max plan was prompted to add usage credits for Fable in the last month. If they were, that was the bug, fixed now. But it was billable while it was broken. 4. Point your CI person at the claude-code-action fix. Any pipeline that mysteriously started failing on GitHub hosted runners in the last week is probably that, fixed, free. 5. Compare the version they answered with in step 2 against the current tag. If it lags by more than a fortnight, your agency is running last month's tools on this month's problems. Have that conversation before the next invoice cycle, not after. 10 releases in one compressed stretch. The number I gave you at the start is the whole thesis of the video. Every business owner watching is on one of two sides. The side that hears about the tool changes 6 weeks late from an account manager who is billing them for the retention, or the side that reads the releases page every morning and knows before the invoice arrives. The tools do not care which side you are on, the math does. A dev agency retainer of $10,000 a month, sitting on a tool chain that got half a day faster this week without either of you noticing, is paying for work that is not being done. The window your competitor gets, right there. The founder who reads the releases page every morning does not know more about code than the one who does not. They know more about their own bill. Whole difference. The releases page is public, and Anthropic did not hide it. 6 weeks from now, half the audience of this video will still not have opened it. The other half will be renegotiating. Subscribe. Next video breaks down which specific line items on a typical dev invoice have already moved this month, which ones your agency is probably still charging you full rate for, and the one line item that has not moved at all in the last year that you should stop paying for tomorrow.